I did my Monday video on Wednesday and my Wednesday video on Tuesday. I don't know. Let me just not have y'all expecting videos on a certain day. I think I hinted at that last time. So my hair looks like this, and I was gonna fix it, but I'm like, no, y'all need to see. If you did your spiritual bath right, the salt is gonna sort of make your hair do like a ocean type thing. Because I mean, it doesn't it snatch out all the impurifications. And please don't use iodine, y'all. It's sea salt baths or showers. I didn't feel like sitting in the tub this time. I was not, because sometimes you really gotta like be balls deep in your spiritual thing, and you gotta get in the tub and you gotta like cry and sweat and release everything during a full moon, particularly one in Pisces. But because I had actually been doing what I was supposed to be doing the last couple of weeks, it was not that bad. I did a shower. I did a shower with salt, and I mixed the salt with my conditioner and my other stuff. And don't forget your feet. A lot of people neglect making sure their feet are smudged and stuff, and your soles are really important. I'm trying to figure out what the reason for that was, or to hear what the reason was. It has something to do with the chakras that are on your feet. Oh, look, we're doing a different type of video today. I am being led. uh, I have this guy friend that I taught, like he apprenticed under me when I was a wedding photographer. And over the years, we got to know each other. And his mom ended up, like, her profession is doing what I'm doing now, but like root work and spiritual stuff for the church. He said he got used to dealing with her because she would say she had a leading. Like that was the easy way for him to understand. And that was really important to me because I had not had somebody who could understand what the fuck I was trying to say. Oh no, I hit the meeting control. Here we go. So a leading, a channel, a message getting dragged somewhere. So where the hell was I getting dragged before I explain that to you guys? Um, oh, what chakra is on the bottom of the foot? Oh, oh, so this is just, it's what keeps you grounded, which makes sense. What chakras are in your feet? Answer my question though. One important chakra resides in the soles of our feet. It's rarely discussed, but so important. And notice how they are still not saying the name. What the fuck is the name of this? Foot chakra. It is called the foot chakra. No, I was being a smartass. The foot chakra is located at the bottom of your feet, and it's the part of us that actually connects us to earth. So yeah, if you got stagnant energy or stuff like on your foot, the rest of that energy is not even coming up and through. They only tell us there's a chakra at the bottom of your booty and one right above your head. Like they tell us that central seven, because that's the most important. But once you get into this, you need to know all these other areas. There's even one in the back of your head, right? So let me pull that one up. Guess we're doing chakras today. It's called the Bindu chakra, right? Let me pull up because all this week I have been getting things on energy work. I'm like, oh my goodness, I get to learn some cool stuff that I never thought I was going to learn in my life about energy and how it works and how to make it move. And all of this is just really going to help me on my plan to take over the world. Like even before my awakening, whenever anybody would call me and be like, hey, what you doing today? My response was always nothing, just trying to take over the world. And it came from Pinky and the brain, but as it turns out, many times I did get in trouble for trying to take over the world with alchemy. And that sounds funny now, right? Like, how could anybody try to take over the world? Oh, no, you just gather a bunch of powerful men together and then start making cities and making moves, and suddenly, like, you're that bitch. It can be done. So, I'm going to try a different method this time of taking over the world through energy. Yeah. And it's Bindu chakra. Okay, so this one is in the back of your head. And what happens with this one, it could be triggered during meditation or tantric sex. But either way, this is you getting a lot of energy into that area in the back of your head. And what happens is it releases a chemical in your brain that is not usually released. And that gets into your bloodstream and it changes the composition of what's coming out of you. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, his hair just messed me up. I didn't see that coming. I think that's the main problem here. I'm learning all this deep, deep stuff and all scientific and everything, but I'm still very much me, and I'm gonna make fun of something. That's how I get down. I think maybe that little curl right there is what we all need to tap into, the Bindu chakra. So when this thing is stimulated and the chemical components are now in your blood, I guess it's the same as if you were to take a drug like ecstasy or something, but this helps you live longer. This is the Amrita. Oh, we going in today. All right, y'all, when I get on this computer, I never know what I am being led to share with you guys. So Amrita. No, you can't put that in a bottle, y'all. Y'all cannot put that. You cannot put that in a bottle. It's not going to do the same. That's something else. That's something bootleg, and they're using it for weight loss. But it does help with weight loss. It helps to purify your human back to its regular state. What is people showing up? I'm gonna type fluid. Let me just come out from images. Oh, they call it nectar of the gods. Maybe that's what I need to focus on. Yeah. Okay. So technically, yeah, look at the pictures. When it comes out of the female, the consistency is different. This is not squirt like the other ones. This one comes out like honey. And it's because of something in the back of your head. So back in the day, when humans thought there were gods around, there were no gods. Just humans were like 4 feet tall. That was the max they had at the time. And your consciousness is actually based on, or I'm sorry, your height is based on your consciousness. And there's a spirit science video on this called The Hidden Human History. It's on YouTube. Spirit Science Hidden History movie, YouTube. It'll explain the heights and consciousness. So we're walking around 6'2" to 6'5", right? People who are 4 feet tall think you're a god, think you're a genius. If you can do things like predict the weather, like, there's a thunderstorm coming, and then it comes, they're like, oh my God, you're a god. No, they got tricked. They got tricked. And it's because the more conscious beings were aware of this Amrita. They were having sex that made them live longer, look good longer, lose weight, glow. If you look into Hera's history, you'll see that every year she went and did a particular bath that replaced her virginity, but it was just like a spiritual bath that like tightened her shit back up, because you know when you're dealing with that type of husband, it's much usage. So this nectar that I can't believe they're trying to sell in a bottle, and I guess I should pull up this picture. It helps you live longer. It's a spiritual thing. It cannot be attained through force or you picking somebody to just be your random sex partner. Because guess what I found out, guys? Let me stop sharing this now. So, in the event that you try to bypass the true love thing to get to this power or this knowledge, it corrupts. It does the opposite. The use of this Amrita or this tantric energy, this Kundalini energy in the positive force comes through the heart. It's love based between two people who are working on something together, divine love, right? If your heart is still closed or you're doing it for the wrong reason and you're able to achieve the liquid or the Kundalini awakening, you start to descend into Luciferian consciousness. You become more focused on yourself and your own genius, and you become obsessive with it, which actually closes your heart more. And then it makes you age faster, and then you get more ailments, and you actually end up fucking yourself up. It's like you did a spell that was only meant for a good person, and you ruined it because you were being narcissistic. You only wanted it for power. You did not actually care about the love there. So that's my disclaimer for people who are trying this. Only when you're in a committed relationship with somebody that you really want to merge with. You are taking the essence of your soul, which is what comes out through your orgasm, guys. I didn't know any of this. I'm learning so much about sex. So the juices that come out of you or your partner or whatever, they are the densification of your soul energy, your soul ether in liquid form. So when you say you snatching somebody's soul, quite technically, if you swallow la la, you did. Because that is the composition of what their higher self has going on. So I guess that explains a lot in the difference between when somebody is rank and somebody is like amazing tasting. That makes sense. That makes sense. It's the soul, baby. It's the soul. So with all this being said, my solar return which is your energetic overlay for the year, solar return, right? Your Jupiter is where you're going to be learning wisdom through experience. My Jupiter is in 8th this year. So guys, y'all are gonna be learning about sex with me. And I'm not talking like regular sex, because I mean my knowledge there is like right. But spiritual sex, sex that creates something. I mean, could you imagine dripping honey that gave people lives? Well, it is sort of lives because it extends. This is why people were living past 100 back then. This is why sometimes people live past 100 over there in the eastern countries. Over here we sort of suck. So with that being said, I think maybe I have to make some of these videos 21 or older, because yeah, I'm going in, guys. I've been watching porn, but not like for my own amusement. I watch it like a scientist. I watch it like a movie. Like, but why would she do that? What is the reaction here? And it's trippy, right? Because I didn't know these gifts would count while I'm watching it, because I'm just trying to figure out the patterns of behavior. Like, why is she screaming? What could he possibly be doing that made her just scream? Because you can't tell when you're watching it. But my spidey senses have been tapping in when I'm watching films. And it's amazing how many people are faking it during these fucking films. I'm like, that does not feel good. She's not even comfortable. I can feel she hates this, but that's why she's screaming. As opposed to another video when you're like, oh, nah, she gone, baby. I don't know what that person did right there, but they're gone. So I'm going to be looking at the charts of these porn stars so I can understand the different sexual configurations. And then I'll be able to apply that to my skill set in these readings, because a lot of you guys are sexually dysfunctional and unable to communicate because you have no idea what it is you actually want, because you haven't experienced it. Some people are only sexually unraveled by other parts of themselves being accessed, and it's 11:11 on the clock. Like, some people need mental connection, some people need to be nurtured in a certain way, some people aren't even actually opening up to even approach the honey dripping process. One of my favorite historical stories, and I do not remember the name of the queen, but it was an Asian queen, right? She was in charge, that bitch. Every time somebody wanted something from her city, like aid, money, finances, even when they came to visit, if it was a dude, he had to give her a head before he could even talk to her. And I think it's because of this liquid. But I thought that was that was amazing. Like, that's some bullshit. That's why women are not in power now. Because when we were in power, we were really bad, just as bad as the guys. So don't let the patriarchy get you down or feel victimized by it. One day the truth will come out about what women did during their reign, and then everything will be even. We can all be barbarians, especially when you have a closed heart and you have descended into just being a human. Your heart space, keeping that heart chakra open, is what keeps you connected to source and empathy and all those beautiful things. Once that's over, you're stuck inside this. And this is connected to an ego who can get jealous, who wants things, who desires, who thinks that time is running out here on earth. All these things that make it harder for you to be a good person to other people. When your heart is closed, you're focused on yourself and trying to make yourself feel something, but you can't, because closed heart. So I don't know what I'm gonna name this video. This was so random. But I am happy to know that every time I won't be doing a channel message with cards. So like, this could get boring. I can get the same message over and over again. And I'm really being pushed to give messages on relationships and love. And there are a lot of people who are not looking for that. Although I might say, unless you are not looking for love, because you're working on yourself, if you're avoiding it or just not open to it, guess what that means? Your heart is closed, baby. So if you're not in a phase of making self feel better so you can get back out there, if you've been purposely avoiding other people for years and not attempting to date, or even in your subconscious, because love will find you. I just had a wonderful session with a lady, right? Guess what? She found her husband playing on the Marvel universe. She was playing a video game. Prince Harry happened to see Meghan go through his Instagram timeline with a fucking dog filter on. And he was like, that's her. When your person is meant to find you, they will find you no matter where you are. But if your heart is closed, they can't get your ping. They can't get you on the GPS. They can't even find you on the map, because your heart is saying, I'm not ready. I was hurt in the last relationship, so I'm not even going to try love again. Never turn love down. It's always there. The bad stuff starts when you get bored, and you get bored when there's no love in your life, guys. And this is not even just romantic love. Love of what you do every day, love of the people around you, love of being alive. Right? So, since we are clearing out this Pisces full moon energy, this is all the stuff in your subconscious, all the unconscious patterns that could lead to your fall. This is mental issues, spiritual ailments, all that stuff, which is probably why we had this conversation, because a lot of you guys are dealing with sexual energy issues. You are still bound to another person who is pulling on your sexual energy. You had no idea about this shit. Me either. Me either. This is amazing. I really think once I get to the end of me being led through learning this, I'll be able to create something amazing that changes the way human sexuality is looked at in the Western world. I think they got it in the Eastern world for the most part, but there's something missing over here. Like, if most people knew the shit that I was learning, that I just been talking to y'all about, they wouldn't be on Tinder. Because when you have sex with somebody, they are logging into your root chakra, and not until you pull them out or pull that cord out do they disconnect from you. You can be broke up with somebody from 10 years and they're still pulling on your shit. That's why they still come to mind sometimes. And speaking of that, I'm about to go do a bunch of my own rituals. And that's not just, I was never promiscuous. Just need to say that. But just anybody in my energy field. Oh my goodness, have y'all been dealing with X stuff lately? I don't know. Well, it's Venus retrograde. There's like 7 planets retrograde. It's just like, why do people mess stuff up just to have to come back later and say, yeah, I messed up, but I can do better this time. Do better the first time. I guess that's self-sabotage, messing up a good thing. But how humbling is it to have to come back later like, hey, I know I ruined us. No, bro, do not come back here. I don't want nothing I had, because it doesn't resonate with who I am. I'm not even attracted to the same type of people I was. Crazy, right? And please let me know in the comments if anybody else is having this problem. I did not realize before I actually started doing introspection that I have not been with somebody that I was attracted to initially. I go off personality, or that's just how it works, or whoever like wears me down. But no, I never have been with somebody that I looked at the first time and was like, oh, okay, they're attractive. Probably just ignored them the first time. They had to hit on me for them to notice. That's exactly what happened. Never been with somebody my height. I'm 6'2". I've only been with guys under 5'10". There were so many things that were wrong because I was out of alignment with myself. I was diminishing myself. So I was getting, I don't want to be cruel. I was matching with people that were matched at the time for how I felt about myself. I was really into making myself smaller. I didn't want to be seen just because I came from a family that I am very different from. I make this joke all the time, which is probably the truth now that I know what I know, that I snuck into my bloodline. I don't match. My grandmother used to have this big, big picture on her wall of the whole family. And then we have all these beautiful gradients of brown. And then at the end, there's just a baby me, and I'm white and I'm sitting on my granddaddy's lap. So I always sort of had like a thing about being ugly, of being different. So when somebody notices me, I really freak out. And it makes me smile automatically. So people just assume I don't know, friendly or shy or whatever, but it makes it worse. And that like makes me pray. Like they see that and they automatically like pounce on that. So I did not really ever go and explore any of that shit. But now I'm glad to know, going forward into the next phase of my life, that I know what I want. I know who I am. And what the fuck I'm doing going forward. I hope the same for you guys. I hope that the information I give y'all and me going through these moments of self-discovery help you guys see a little bit of yourselves. Because it doesn't matter how much information you know. You're still in a human. You still have to go through the human experience. So take your victories, but also take your L's. And don't let either make or break you. Don't let your wins make you so great that you look down on other people, or your lows make you feel so low that you think you're not deserving of anything. Just find your midpoint and rock with it. That's what I'm going to do. So from this point on, guys, with these videos, y'all are just coming along the experimental ride with me. I'm going to talk to y'all about what I'm learning, what magic I'm doing, tell y'all what to do during these times to shift your life, because it really has been working for me. My life has never been better. It was just so far down the hole. I had a lot of climbing up to do. So, with that being said, I think that's it. Do I have to pull a card? I have to pull a card, guys. I am in a deep phase of learning obedience. Why would I go against the Most High when the Most High has my highest timeline in mind, right? Sometimes we fight with God or the universe because we're like, hey, we freaking want this and I want this now. Like, come on, bro. Not even knowing that God is up there working on a masterpiece. You cannot rush a Michelangelo ceiling. I hope that's the guy who did the ceilings. You could not uh, rush a Picasso. God is working on something beyond your sight. And if you believe in it, you'll get to see it. If you keep like getting mad and disgruntled and refuse to see anything but what's right in front of you at that moment, I don't think you ever get to see the painting. So, what is the message that the universe would like me to close with today? I'm going to name this random facts. Each of random Thursday. Ah, the door to personal value. That's what this whole thing was about. And that makes sense, right? Because a lot of us didn't know the value of our sexual energy. I didn't know my personal value. I'm probably not alone in that. uh, and connecting with the people who will also see your value is a theme. So during this moon, just let it flow, let it release, and get prepared to let yourself shine. Because Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac. So with the full moon coming up and through this is completing a cycle. And I know they say that shit like every time there's a moon. I really hate a lot of these spiritual things because they just regurgitate the same issue every moon. Like, guys, all you have to do is research in between time. There's so many subjects out here. Why are we expecting miracles every full moon? So this is absolutely the end of a cycle because of the Pisces thing. I'm not going to say that any other time because like when the moon is in Aries, that's new. That's the beginning of a new cycle. This is the close of old cycles. So what no longer resonates with you, don't try to make it fit. Don't try to put somebody back in your life because it was comfortable. Grow your new way. And it's crazy. I have to give the advice that I have received from other people, but I think we're all going through the same thing. And it has to do with this fucking apocalypse thing, which is a whole nother video. But live or die, make your choice. Tree of life or tree of death. We have all been given all the tools and information to see which way we can prosper and which way we can descend. More on this in the future. Bye, guys.